Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, Trade Gate Hub. It is May 26th, 11:05, a little worse than yesterday. We'll do better. We're trying to get on at 11 o'clock. There's a lot to do today. A lot of stocks that reported that had pin action, if you will, driving other stocks with it. And there's another good example of how one stock reported, a bellwether, if you will, reported, and a bunch of ancillary stocks in the same respective sector reported. And the ancillary stocks went up as the bellwether went down precipitously, which basically showed me, and I'll get to it right again. As I say, I write these things down so I can get back and remember what I'm saying, is Nordstrom versus the others. And that was a perfect indication to me, not about how the retail sector was acting, about how the overall market in general was acting. Okay, so let's go. Let's sign into TradeGate Hub from TradeView Markets. Okay, this is our main room, the coach firing away as usual. We have a big afternoon coming at 1 o'clock Eastern. Get on the site and know what's going on. If you don't by now, you have to navigate your way around the site. Trust me, it's worth it. Coach has a special guest on at 1 o'clock. So this is the general room here. I post something to put the stocks room that I'm in goes to the main room right now because we want to gain a little bit more traction and go to a wider audience, if you will. But there's usually in the mornings, because this is a lot of the Forex, a lot of morning trades are put in the Forex. I'll go right here. Good stuff. I actually go over to them trying to learn myself. I've had so many offers to trade Forex, but I had to draw the line somewhere. It's bad enough there's after hours futures going all the time. So it is what it is. Okay. Good morning. As always, you know what? Let me just go back and tell and show where the indicator was, just the sentiment yesterday morning and where we were today. Okay, so we had a nice rally. Actually, what we did is we had rotation yesterday, predominantly NASDAQ stocks. They pulled in a little bit, but this is where the sentiment was in general. So yesterday, the market was a little bit on the weaker side. And we started the sentiment on the day on this little bit of a pullback. So what does that leave us? It leaves us right here. That leaves us with stock picking. And with stock picking that comes with always wanting to buy the best of breed or the better of breed. If there's no volume involved, I'm gonna go to the screen afterwards. So I'll stop pontificating. As always, go to Mike Santoli. It's not because he's Italian; it's because he's one of the best at what he does. About dissertating, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, about breaking down what the market's done right after from a macro view and a micro view, even about what's going on in the markets. I do it to refresh myself on what went on that day. And there's another video too that you could watch. I don't want to go back to it, but I started every day as a refresher. And I'm not alone in that, by the way. So I watched that. So, okay, so here we go. We started the sentiment in neutral. Yesterday's biggest option plays. We had AMD, Tesla, Boston Scientific, Royal Caribbean, Boston Scientific, on top of yesterday's high volume in NCLH and CCL. NCLH was all over the board yesterday, which was still long as Carnival. Pardon. Sectors ranked by strength or roll breadth. Self-explanatory. ARC, I posted once again 4 hours ago this morning. ARC plays trading ranges, and that's important because today we have Kathy is up 10% in 2 weeks. And as my man Rich said in the this morning, it's I also said it was DDD. Those are one of the stocks that doesn't really deserve to be up. Well, technically it looks okay, but the run it's made is questionable, but it is what it is. And price action always trumps an opinion or sentiment, as Helene Meisler said on one of my Twitter feeds. So follow. So this is a good look at this. This is a perfect indication of how our stocks are doing. SC, slightly overbought. Shopify, slightly overbought. Now, I'm not saying to trade with RSI. I'm not going to apologize once again for always saying it, but these are the hot stocks. Here, skills is neutral. Skills, let's look at skills, for example. Here's skills today. It's up 4%. What else do we have? I really posted, not the shadow because she's been cold, but certainly when she's up 10%, I can't believe I'm even using this word, but chasing, certainly with a small size, just to get involved, it's been working. Unity Software, our biggest play, one of our biggest plays, top 5. If you've been watching the videos, if not, go to the videos all week long, and you'll see about what do we feel about Unity in the neutral territory. Still has some time to go. It's going to pull back, but bottom line is these are the proverbial sexy stocks, regardless if Kathy is in them or not. She makes them, more visible. SE, SSYL, Teradyne, Twitter, Roku, DraftKings, PacB, Square, Twilo, Zoom. So these are familiar names. Yesterday I posted trades, but you can blow that up on your own screen. ZS reported earnings. I said in the beginning of the broadcast, if you will, that a lot of stocks had good pin action of other stocks reporting earnings. ZS was another one. AI, Tiger, Riot Blockchain up 3%. I posted yesterday's biggest gainers with large range. GME, to no surprise, was up there. Now, let me jump ahead. This is my query that myself and my team drew up, if you will. And I just wanted to point out, let's look at like GME, TAL, Square, AMC. I'm not inventing anything here. This is the bar chart. This is barchart.com, which I show you all the time. There's AMC, there's TAL, there's GME. So once again, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just simplifying it to the point where I can put my own or give my own ranges upon those very stocks. AMC, I wanted to know if it closed near the high. I can just look at it instead of going to my charts and disseminating information. I know yesterday that AMC on 160% of its volume, closing basically near the high and having a 20% range, I'm interested in. Tiger, same thing. On the opposite side, there really weren't any good shorts yesterday. There were really kind of some pullbacks. But I'm pointing out here that these are my own queries that I do post, and I will post more. But once again, they're for everybody to see. So I'm just making it a little bit easier, more palpable, so we can just go in there. It's basically finishing with batting practice and getting ready to hit, hit home runs, or at least singles. Early movers this morning, NBRV peers. I wrote down that's number 1. That worked, if you will. ZS, Urban, Sol. Sol is an energy stock, solar stock, right here. Sol. I'm jumping ahead. Now, it's not a bellwether and it's not a leader, but Sol is also a heavily shorted stock. So I know that stock reported earnings, and I watched how it reported yesterday. It acted well after hours, didn't have much volume, but I took note. So it opened at 760. It's now at 889. It's up 16%. A lot of things are up 16%. So what Sol reported today, the pin action says, let me go to JAX, because that's the other Chinese solar. So JAX, to no surprise, did the same thing as Sol. JAX, if you were sharp, I wasn't in it. 33.16 to 35 without a commercial. It's a big move. So you go to the other guys. You go to the best of breed daddios. You go to Sunrun. They all did the same thing. Open unchanged at 44 to 46. Sunrun. The only problem here is they're technically pressured, but you can't argue with the price action today. So you go to the other one, Fizzler, still up $1. So I go to Sol. Sol right now is breaking higher as the better ones run. CSIQ. Well, CSIQ is breaking higher. So you know what? They're mixed to a degree. So you know what? Just go to what's breaking high and what has best of volume. But SOL was an example of pin action today. And I don't mean to jump ahead, but I wanted to make a point on on the up gappers. GameStop, Riot, Alt, Mara, AMC, EH. EH, I want to make a point of. EH, I love, this is one of the things I love. I love when a stock has intraday news. I don't usually like when a stock has news after hours because the stock is usually going to get priced in to a degree. That doesn't, stay with me. So EH, I want to point out. So this was yesterday's, no, that was a final look. Yesterday's movers. Go-to TAL, EDU, China education stocks, group volatile moving together. JWIN. Let's see how Kohl's, Macy's act in urban. NCLH, AAL, one of our top picks. We're still in NCLH. Jim Cramer. I think the Wall Street bets people will soon be raising their price targets for AMC and GME. So what does that tell me when when Jim Cramer says something like that? And he knows he has to be sensitive and has to be careful of what he says because there's a lot of scrutiny and he doesn't want to jump out of on these Wall Street bets people with the short squeezes. So even if Jim Cramer gives somewhat of an endorsement in saying it's not, for those older ones will remember this term, irrational exuberance, that means to me there's a little bit of meat on the bone. You might be a little bit late. I wouldn't start in full positions here, but it does have meat on the bone. Today's calendar, the exporting goods stores. Whoa, let's see how this acts. We're going to see. Let's see how Dick's and A&F act in a weak retail pullback. For example, Nordstrom's. Go-to was the part of TAL, the Chinese education stocks. Right before the open, I pointed stocks on the upside, stocks on the downside very quickly. A final look at our movers at 9:15, so I don't leave you hanging. Still GME, ZS, Dick's, Coin, Roku, Urban, A&F. Basically the same thing. On the left, on the right here, I point out volume. Peers has traded heavy volume. RLX, PDD, Riot, Mara. So I'm telling you what's Mavis was a letdown, by the way. I sold that on the open, thank God. And there right there is LI. Believe me, LI was the one that drove the rest of the sector. Let's go to LI. Just because I can't wait. LI. Oh my Lord. LI reported numbers. Heavily shorted stock. It's on my screen with the group of Tesla, NIO, XPEV, QS. Well, QS is more battery, but LI rally. Okay, bottom line is you should know this by now, but Chinese EV stock LI rally. So LI is doing something very similar to what Sol did. Had news, ran up at the high of the day, and it's leading the other sector. This is a major move for LI, and it's a stock up 14% by 11/18. And has, what is that? 120% of its volume, almost by noon. So you know what? You do the same thing with LI as you do with the solars. You pick XPEV. What goes with what goes with LI? XPEV. XPEV. I was looking at the news before I went online here. Not only did LI report good news or good numbers, but Nomura, arguably one of the better firms on the street, started with XPEV and a buy rating of 47. So I'm saying, XPEV's 29, and buy rating of 47, not too bad. So you buy LI reports, doesn't have a downtick. XPEV breaks out of the range. If you don't want to pay up, there's the open. And basically the rest of them did the same thing. NIO. No, NIO didn't go because it's over too thick of a stock, if you will. But that's another stock, LI, that had precipitous news, that had news that followed through. His GameStop breaking high as we speak. GameStop breaking high at lunch. AMC about to break high at lunch. I'm sorry for getting a digression here. It's also for AMC. What are the rest of them doing? Costs. Cost is only up $1. I have no interest in it. Cost should be up $5 by now. But the other ones that actually make sense, Bed Bath & Beyond is up nicely, so I have to keep it Viacom. So the bottom line is at lunchtime, 11:20 Eastern, we have GameStop that is breaking the high of the day. And quite honestly, I give it the ultimate compliment. There's no way I would even think about shorting. And you know what? Look at AMC yesterday. AMC, it had Well, you know what? I'm gonna make it even more so it doesn't feel like I was the only one in the, oh, hold on. Give me a second here.